first thing you need to do is be safe. Disconnect the appliance or turn off the breaker to avoid electric shock. Hello guys, welcome to DIY Repair Now. Today we're going to be working on a front load Whirlpool washer. The model number is on the display. And the problem that we have with this washer is that it's taking too long to fill in water. So I believe the customer said that it was popping out the air code F20, but he was not sure and it's not doing it now. So today we're gonna find out what is going on with this washer. First, what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove the soap detergent tray, and it has a button there. You press it down and it releases that little drawer there. As you see right now, it's trying to fill in water, and I see very little bit of water coming in. That's supposed to come out of this hose where I pointed out, but it's not doing it. So we believe at this point that it could be the cold water valve, because the air code that he think that it was showing has to do with long fill. So this is an indication that it could be the water valve. However, sometimes it could be a clogged drain pump, so you might check that. If it's not the water valve, we're gonna go ahead and turn off, shut the water off on the cold side, because we're gonna go ahead and replace the cold water valve. We're gonna go ahead and open the door and try to grab the washer from the door cabinet, and we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the water hoses. Make sure the washer itself is disconnected from the power. I'm gonna go ahead and secure this electric cord there, that way it doesn't go to the floor. But if it fails, we just pick it up. Now we're gonna go ahead and move the unit forward, that way we can have access to the back panel. Now I believe this water valve has a screw, and you got to take it out with this type of screwdriver, or this little tip screwdriver that I believe they call T something. So I believe the one I'm using is T6, but I'm not sure. Just grab one of those sets that brings the T screwdriver tips, and we're gonna go ahead and use the 1/4 bit to remove the up top panel to be able to access to the water valve. Trying to get it out, but we have another screw here in the middle, and you just move it back and the top panel will come right out. As you see, we gotta look at the positions of the water hoses. So I suggest to take a couple of pictures, that way you know how they were and you put it back the same way. Now we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the cold water valve, because that's the one that's giving us problem. Be prepared for water to spill out. Just grab like a little piece of rag or something, or a little bucket to put the water hose there, that way water doesn't go in the floor. Now we're gonna grab our channel locks. I don't think it's necessary to remove the hot side, because we're gonna be working only on the cold side. Now, as you see, I released that harness from the valve, but over here this one is kind of tricky to release it. So over here I kind of got myself in a situation, because I pulled it and the wires came out from the little piece of the harness. So the wires are just hanging there, and this shouldn't be part of the video if you don't run in this situation where you pull that wire. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this water valve to show you guys how to remove it. As you see, you remove the screw. Sometimes it brings 2 screws. This one only had 1, but sometimes you have to remove 2 screws. You align that piece and then you push it in and it will come right out. Now you're gonna grab your pliers or your channel locks to remove the water hoses. This is the new water valve. We're gonna go ahead and compare it side by side, make sure we got the right part before we keep getting the other water valve out. So now that we got the other water valve out and we got the new one, we're just gonna compare it side by side and make sure we got the right part. As you see, that little piece of the harness got stuck in there and the other piece fell inside the washer. So I'm gonna go ahead and have to do extra work here, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it in this video. That way, if you run into the same situation, because it's a chance you guys learn how to go through this repair if you have this complication. If you don't have this issue with the wiring, you can just forward the video to when I finish repairing that piece of the wire harness. Now we're removing the water hoses from the other valve. Remember, you took a picture, so just look on the phone, make sure you put the right hose in the right side of the valve. Go ahead and grab your channel locks and secure the clamps and secure the water hoses to the new water valve. Now we're just gonna go ahead and set the water valve around here. This is the wire that got loose for me, and we got the other piece of the harness right there. But the little piece that secures the wire in place fell inside the washer, so we have to take apart the washer just to look for that little piece of the harness. Again, if you don't run into this issue, just forward the video. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the description of the video where you should forward this video, the minutes where you can forward the video. That way you don't waste time if you don't run in this situation, or you can just keep watching the video in case you run in this situation. You already know what to do. We move the washer forward to have some space to work, and we grab 1/4 bit screwdriver to be able to remove the back panel. I speed up this part of the video because, like I said, this was not supposed to happen, but it happens. So we remove the back panel and we just look for our little piece. Unfortunately, I have to cut the video because I was wasting too much time, but I found it inside there. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you in a little bit. So we put the panel back on, put all the screws back in place, make sure the back panel is secure. And just put everything like it was. Once you finish installing the back panel, we're gonna go ahead and fix our wiring harness. And as you see, the wires just clip in that little piece, and we will put the back piece to secure it in place, which is the piece that fell inside the washer. Once you put it in place, you will hear like a little clip, or it was just snap in place, and that's when you know you got it right. I was going to go ahead and install it before I put it in the place, but I remembered that I have to twist the water valve and I don't want this to happen again. So I'm gonna go ahead and manage to install the water valve. And remember, it has like a connection there, like male to female connection. You twist it, it will go in place, and you can align the hose for the screws. Align the water valve to allow the screws to go in, and then go ahead and install the screws. Like I said, this one only had one, but I think it's supposed to have two, but I only have one. We're gonna go ahead and put only one. Now we're finished with our T6 screws driver tip, and we're gonna go ahead and install the terminals wire harness right there. And when it goes in place, it will click, and that's when you know the connection is right. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our top panel. And we're gonna go ahead and install the 3 screws that secures the top panel in place. See, that's where I pointed where the other screw is supposed to go, but it didn't have one, so we're just gonna leave it like that. Once you put the 3 screws to secure the top panel, you just manage to put the washer back in place, plug the electric cord to your outlet. Sorry, the video's kind of shaky, but I just want to put everything for you guys can see how I do my repairs. Don't forget to install your water hoses. If you disconnect both, go ahead and plug in your 2 water hoses and go ahead and open your water valve after you install your water hoses. Go ahead and grab your channel locks, adjust them in a way that you can grab your water hose thread, and make sure you don't over tighten it or leave it loose, because if you over tighten it, you can damage the gasket inside the water hose. Like I said, open your water valve. Try to hold with one hand the water valve and the other one to open it, to avoid damaging the water valve and the wall. Now we're gonna go ahead and turn on the washer machine, and we're gonna go ahead and put it to a cycle to allow water to come in to see if the problem that we have, it was the water valve. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little clip in slow motion, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the regular clip, that way you guys can see that this was our issue. Here we go. Now I got that in a slow motion, and this is what really happens. So as you can see, this is how it should operate, and our problem was our water valve. This repair is almost done, and it's been a success. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you in any way, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.